Takes a second for it. All right, we're live.
Yo, so
What
you
you got
guys,
there?
I got the Battle Cat, but I got it complete. So I have the
Complete Battle Cat.
saddle and the helmet, which Rocky loves this thing, which I definitely have to get Pan for, right? Pan for?
Oh, now you're
Pan
just showing
Panthers the
off.
other one. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yo,
nice. That's nice. Bro.
yo, and then I got robotic. What's this guy's name?
Oh,
uh,
I've,
hold on. What do we
I
got? Oh, yeah,
forgot,
okay.
bro.
Oh, can you guys see him?
He-Man's going back.
No, hold on. I was
Yeah.
on the other screen. That's Roboto. Yeah.
Roboto. Now let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Jose.
Okay. Tell.
Well, Tom Ray knows this. Tom knows this because I bought Stinktor for Rocky, and I screwed up because his legs are so cheesy. So
Okay.
now I went to my boy's store in Medford, Hastel Toys, and I checked out his He-Man, and I think I'm only gonna buy He-Man in person because I want to make sure their legs are tight. Because
Yeah,
other than
right. You don't
that,
get the flimsy shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
how am I gonna have Rocky play with these things if the legs ain't tight? So I'm going with buying the He-Man in person. Because other than that, if I buy it on eBay, I'm gonna be screwed again.
I'll
I
tell
don't
you.
want any of that stuff.
I'll tell you a really quick story. Because it just came to mind, but I don't know why my daughter did this. My daughter, right? She's a fan of many things, but one of the things she's a fan of is Toy Story. So we bought her this Toy Story set of all the characters. Now, if you, I don't know if you guys saw Toy Story 4, but there's a scene in Toy Story 4 where Woody removes the arm from Little Bo Peep, right? So keep that in mind. Also, I believe in Toy Story 1, he removes Buzz's arm, right? So my daughter has every Toy Story character there is, like literally all the guys from 3 and 4, the whole this real dope set, everything. She removed Woody's hands, just Woody's hands, and they're not allowed to go back.
Are you
And
serious?
yeah, and she didn't do this until after seeing Toy Story 4. We got it in between 3 and 4. So I have suspicion to believe that that's Woody's permanent punishment for moving the arm from. So I kind of respect my daughter for making such an adult decision in my honest opinion, because Woody had to be taught a life
Oh my
lesson. But yeah, man, and it made me think in my head. You talked about a cheap, not a cheap toy, but a toy with parts that aren't that well and they can be broken easy. Woody's hands don't come off easy. Like she put it work and she used brute force, ripped them off. It was
And then
so
that's
hard to
it.
get them back in. She ripped it off 2, 3 more times, and I even put the hands back. But everybody else has the same hands, and she didn't remove nobody else's hands. It's just Woody, and she'll still play with
She
Woody,
don't,
but Woody
she
don't
don't
get
like
no
Woody
hands.
though.
Yeah, he don't get no hands. So
She don't
quick
like
story.
Woody.
Sorry about that. But yeah, man, my daughter
Um,
might be a little psychotic, but it's okay though. I like it.
guys, I also want to show you this crazy Father's Day gift I got. I got
Wow,
LJN, the
man.
big boss man. This is pretty legit. This is from the last series, the Black Card series. If you guys know that, the big boss man is pretty legit. No
He,
nightstick because nightstick costs probably just as much as the guy costs.
yo,
Yeah.
he was such a piece of shit. I hated that bad guy. He was such a baddie. I hated him so bad, man. He used to do the worst things, man. I'm about to do a tag.
that
Sorry for looking at my phone.
that that's so funny. But the big boss man LJN is pretty legit. I have him right next to the Warrior because those are black cards. Those are the most pricey LJN figures there are.
Sick.
Yeah, and it was the last wave of them too, right?
Yeah, the last wave. Yeah, that's for sure.
Ultimate
Not
Warrior.
even
Legend.
Ultimate Warrior. Yeah,
Legend.
definitely legend. But
Both.
I see Brian wrote a comment, and actually Brian
He's
was supposed to be our special guest today, and he didn't want to come on, so we got Jose back
he didn't want to
today.
come on.
He was
Wow.
scared, Brian. He was scared. He was chicken. So they
He
brought
was
me back.
chicken. So,
They said you couldn't
so
make
we
it,
brought,
but let's just be honest. I'm just a badass, awesome host. So you can't
that's
go
it.
wrong having more of me. You can't go wrong.
That is true.
I miss you, Brian. I
But
miss you, Brian. I
uh,
remember what you did to my
uh,
nose, Brian. I'll never forget. That guy can hit, boy. He's a good puncher.
oh,
It's not letting
that
me
is funny.
tag. What is going on here? I'm sorry, gentlemen. I don't mean to look at my phone, but
Well,
it's
as Jose is doing his thing, start the introductions. Welcome everyone to Rocky and Bobby's Retro Collectibles with co-host Uncle Tom. Today we are going to be talking about some cool stuff, but before we get to what we're going to talk about, let's talk to my co-host, Uncle Tom, aka Tommy Karate. What is going on?
Going on? Not much. Just ready to talk about these GI Joes. I thought this was actually going to be
G.I.
an
Joe.
easy list, and then as I started really giving it some thought, it took me a while to really come down to 5. These lists are always hard. Always hard.
Always.
There is so many GI Joes, and it's I gotta be honest. My list is kind of weird, to be honest. It's not. There's no
How's it weird?
Snake Eyes on my list.
Did you like game and bring
Well,
something back to you, Joe?
The thing is, too, I'm texting Bobby during the week. I'm like, we're talking about the action figure itself, not the character, right? Because that's a difference too. Like, you could be like, the GI Joe TV show, this character's badass or whatever, but I'm like, we're talking about the figure, the action figure. So that was.
I didn't get
That is.
You didn't get that memo.
I didn't get that
You
memo.
get the memo.
I judged on the character for me.
Okay.
Well,
But it's
let's
fine.
also
You have your own. You have your own.
But in all
Let's
honesty,
introduce
their
Jose. I
toy
forgot
was my favorite.
Jose, I forgot to introduce you. Once again,
Oh,
because,
everybody knows me.
because
Nah, I'm just
Brian-
kidding.
because Brian refused to be on the show today, we brought back.
Oh, now he refused. So that was demanding. Giant here,
Brought back
TSG guys.
Giant. Jose, what is going on? Back again from
Thank you,
last week.
Campbell
You're back
Brothers.
again for a second time.
You guys are awesome. It's a treat. I'll be on the show anytime you guys need, man. I even do short notice podcasting. I don't take short notice fights, but I'll take a short notice podcast. You just hit me up, man.
Well, guys, today we are talking the top 5 GI Joe action figures, and of course, there will be lots of controversy here because I got to be honest, I don't have Snake Eyes on my list, and that might be someone's number 1. So I can just tell it is going to be crazy.
Yo, we fighting. We fighting, Bobby.
It is.
Snake Eyes ain't on
So-
your list. Oh man,
What, Jose? Wait, what happens if I say Snake Eyes is not on my list?
we fighting too.
Hey,
So wait, time out.
I mean,
Did you do that on purpose, or is he not worthy of your list? Like, did you do it because you assumed we were gonna do it?
No, I narrowed down my list to the 5 that
So he's
Uh,
not
I
on your
thought-
list either. I
Snake
was
Eyes is
talking-
not on my list.
I was talking to Bobby. Oh God! All right, yeah, let's just.
I was talking to one of my coworkers and
mean-
actually a
Oh.
few of my coworkers, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Snake Eyes is definitely going to be on your list." And I got to keep my mouth shut because I can't let them know anything. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Yeah, you'll have to
Get
see."
spoiled.
And I'm
Yeah,
like, "Oh
yeah.
man, I'm going to get heat for this one."
Wow, you guys are
it
crazy.
is crazy.
I mean, y'all
I
both
had
related.
12
So it
guys
makes
on
sense
my
why y'all
list.
both crazy.
I mean, I had 12 guys on my list.
What's up,
and
Jay?
None of them were Snake Eyes.
That is-
Don't-
Listen.
Yeah,
Situations
we
like this,
sure
I gotta bring out big
Jason-
words. That's preposterous. All right, that's preposterous. Absurd.
let-
Disrespectful.
let's get into let's get into the 2 honorable mentions right now.
Let's do it.
Jose, we'll go with you first. We'll go with you.
Me
Your
first.
first 2
right.
honorable mentions.
Well, because last time, Bobby, you put on a hell of a show. I brought pictures this time. I'm trying to step my game up. So, Tommy, you want to pull me in? Tommy Karate.
You ready?
Yes, sir. All right. So, my first honorable mention. Let's zoom in. I've learned how to zoom in today. Badass. Tunnel Rat. You guys remember Tunnel Rat?
Sure do.
No.
Yes, sir.
No,
All
I
right. So,
don't.
we're gonna tell you some things about Tunnel Rat. It's part of the reason why I like
Oh,
Tunnel Rat.
there we go. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was just about to yell at you, Jose, and tell you, like, the figure, not the cartoon. I was about
I
to yell.
thought
at
it was
you.
the cartoon, but I got a little both because this figure was one of my favorite figures. Let's say you didn't know who Tunnel Rat was. I just think this is a dope figurine. Like, what do you guys think? Like, he looks like he would like sneak up behind you and slit your throat. I don't know. What you guys get from this? Like, that's somebody
is
you don't.
pretty
That's
cool.
somebody you don't owe money to. You know what I'm saying? Look at this gun he got. Look at the backpack. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I gotta
Both
be
up.
honest, I don't remember him though.
Face paint. Oh, he was one of my favorites, bro. You know what's
The
cool?
face
Did you
paint
guys
is pretty cool.
Did you guys repair them when they would break? This version of G.I. Joe's was my favorite because you could repair them over and over. Like, I had a rubber band set. I'd repair all my guys. You know what I mean? I'd be
Yeah,
like
I
a little
never
medic,
repaired any of them.
little medic.
Wow,
This shit'll snap.
wow, this guy brought the ID card or whatever you call that.
So you guys mean to
we
tell
call-
me
we call
y'all,
that.
y'all didn't cut them out? That was one of the greatest things to do. I would
No.
cut it out and save all.
I think we had some of them. I don't know if we ever saved
What do you
all
call
of them.
that?
I forget what it's called, but
ID
all the
card? What do you
toys,
call that?
All the toys in the back, it would have that. So look, this
you know
is
what? I should know because I
this is
just
what it
watched
would look
Jason
like.
Nubb's video this morning on his latest GI Joe, and he was talking about
And
them
he
actually.
said what it was
And he was
called.
talking about it.
what
He's
is
like, yeah, he's like, I'm by chance, I'm also
ID
collecting the
card?
cards because they just happen to be,
Nice.
coming with some
cool.
of his figures, so he's got a collection and
Yeah, I used to-
ID
profile
card
there-
or
Yeah.
sometime-
not a
So
dog tag, file
some
card,
kind of
file card.
file card maybe. Yeah, maybe
yeah.
file card.
Hell yeah,
Jason's
they-
still
they're
watching.
awesome.
Maybe he'll comment in.
it'll give you extra incentive. I used to love to cut it out and collect them and find out more about my characters. I'm not going to read the other people's card. I just brung his. But this is how he's on my honorable mentions. First of all, in the cartoon, he was kind of witty and clever. I like characters like that. Excuse me. But if you see here, it says Tunnel Rat's family tree is Trinidadian Chinese with branches of Irish, Spanish, and Indian thrown in. So this dude's like every minority you can think of. So that's awesome. As a minority myself growing up, I felt like, damn, I can relate to maybe one of
guy's-
those parts of him.
Right.
He grew up on the mean streets of Brooklyn. I grew up on the mean streets of Brooklyn. He said he got tough on the Ranger course at Fort Benning and honed his skills in Grenada. He's a qualified expert with all of NATO's small arms and is familiar with most Warsaw Pact explosive devices. Tunnel Rat believes that anything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. His feeling about crawling into an enemy tunnel with a knife in one hand, a pistol in the other, and a flashlight in his mouth is simple. He can shoot straight up, bite harder, and run faster than anything he's ever encountered in a tunnel. So why worry? Tunnels got to be the scariest place to fight a war. Imagine you're trapped in this tight space with your enemy. Like,
Yeah,
what's
I
more
would
Does
be
genius-
anyone
claustrophobic.
realize Jose just read the whole thing? Like we
You read
were
the
in
whole
school?
thing.
I had to because
I don't know if we're
working.
gonna have time to read a file card for
He
every
read the
person.
whole thing like we were in school.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to bring bios and pics and profiles. I'm trying to step my game up. So I'll move fast. My next honorable mention is Zartan. Because I mean, how cool it is that you got a bad guy who could trick you and fool you by being an imposter, infiltrator, turn into other people. Plus, I just really enjoyed the artwork. Saying this figurine was really cool. I don't got a
He
picture
came
of
with
the figurine.
like a cape or something like that, like right?
In some figures,
Zartan?
yeah. But this is my favorite version of him. He's had a couple versions though.
Yeah, because I watched a video. I watched a video of the 10 worst action figures ever, and he was on there.
Yeah, 'cause he's eccentric. He's had his moments where he said or did funny things, but what I liked about him was his contrast to the other characters. The GI Joes. There we go. See, Maurice.
I don't know if Maurice was commenting on him or Tunnel Rat.
Good point. Tunnel Rat's the man. Either way, I like Maurice. He likes
I think he's commenting like, yeah, GI Joe. I don't think he's commenting on those.
He's
two
just
guys.
trying to make me feel better. He just heard I was on the show. He's like, yes, they brought that Otero guy back. So what happens now? Do I move into my top 5 or we pause? I forget.
No.
I'm done with my honorable
We
mentions.
go. Tom's
Alright.
2 honorable mentions.
All right, so you just got to pull my stream. Yeah, pull my stream back
All right.
up.
All right. So my first honorable mention. Actually, it's interesting because my 2 honorable mentions were both obtained through mail-in order. So
Oh man, guys going with fridge.
so my first honorable mention is actually I'll bring a picture up of him if you want. Is going to be this guy right here, Sergeant Slaughter.
Mm,
This
Definitely.
figure,
love Sergeant Slaughter.
yeah, back in the late
Oh.
80s or early 80s, and this is when Sergeant Slaughter was big. You couldn't find this figure. They eventually made the figure, I think, where you could buy it in the store, but the mail-in one had the USA over the front, and and it was like such a cool thing because back in that day, you really did have to save the what they say, like save the barcode, the proof of purchase, send it in, and you mail it in, and they would tell you, yeah, wait 6 to 8 weeks, and you forget about it, and then all of a sudden, he just shows up in your mail, and you're like, oh my god, and I got the coolest figure.
Imagine waiting 6 to 8 weeks now to get something.
Right,
Now.
that's what I mean. Like, yeah.
If it takes longer than 2 days, you're having a fit.
He was one of my favorite figurines. He was awesome. He was awesome. Seeing
Yeah,
him on
Sergeant-
the TV and then having him
Sergeant
in your
Slaughter
hands
was
was a big
good.
deal. It was a big
Yeah.
deal.
Very legit.
Matter of fact, at that time, if can anyone recall if they had other toys like that like it bear the same likeness of somebody that we saw on TV, or I mean, outside of the toys that they made directly for a TV show, was there anybody?
Well, let me go to my next
Okay,
honorable mention. How about that?
that's pertaining
I
to
know
it,
where you're going with this one.
That's pertaining
This
to
one's
it.
pretty
All right,
legit. I know what it is.
hit me.
So my next honorable mention was another mail-in rebate, and at the time I didn't even know who this guy was. I watched football and a little bit, and I
Oh, yeah.
only watched
Yeah.
the Giants. I was a big Giants
Right.
fan, you know, from the kid. But
Oh my god.
this figure, and my father is like, "Oh yeah, you can actually get the fridge," and I'm like, "Who is the fridge? The refrigerator?" And this
Yeah.
guy was the mail-in,
So I
another
think
mail-in.
they were the first cross networking kind of, like saying branching into other realms like football, wrestling. That's awesome. I forgot about I almost said his name.
I
I'll
know
let you. I don't want to ruin your,
Another
your
Another
introduction.
8 weeks together.
Yeah.
He said it only took 8 weeks. That built the
was-
prestige up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Nice.
that is
Look at
pretty
that shit.
legit.
Yeah.
That is also
I never had him.
a stick with a football, right? That was his weapon. That's a
Yeah,
football
he
on
had.
top,
I think
right?
it was supposed to be like
Yeah.
a chain, but I
He lo-
think he was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Shane. I thought
yeah.
that should look like a Maddox for court. He like Judge Judy
That-
Maddox.
That is pretty legit. Both those are pretty legit.
Those were
Um,
my.
I didn't come over with any pictures, by the way, Tom. So you might have to throw some pictures up for me.
I could
Did you
throw
say
some
his
pictures
name,
up.
Tom? Did you say? I just realized. Did you say
Wait,
his name?
what? I
For
didn't
the-
say
for
my
the
two
audience.
names yet.
No,
I'm
no.
gonna say. I'm gonna say.
Did you see Bazooka Joe? Oh, shit, I just realized there's mad comments. I just clicked
Oh
on
yeah.
it. now.
Wait, was that Jose's? That was just Jose's honorable mentions. We didn't get to the
Honorable
number ones yet.
mentions. Yeah,
Don't worry,
honorable
Hulk
What's
Bear.
up, Hulk Bear? I remember
Yeah.
you two.
Yeah.
I like
Maurice.
the whole
Maurice definitely was talking about Tunnel Rat.
Ton of rap.
Yep.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
man.
Flag
Oh,
points.
man.
Joe Smith has got a flag points. That was like the proof of purchase. You collect the flag points, send them in.
Ah.
Yeah.
Flag points.
Yeah.
Very
Man.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fridge is definitely up there. My two honorable mentions, Tom. I don't know if you could throw this up there. Is Big Boya, Boa? I don't know how you pronounce that, but you guys
Big
remember who
Boa.
that
Big Boa.
is? Big Boa.
Name
He
don't ring a
is
bell.
pretty legit. Reason why I picked him as honorable mention, I really should have had him on my list. His thing was the punching bag, like the double end bag, which
That's
was my
cool.
favorite thing.
Oh,
guy was legit.
shit.
He had boxing gloves, and I love that bag. It was my favorite bag.
Yeah,
Bag. So
I had that
this
toy.
guy was legit, and now that I just said it, I think I should have put him on my top 5.
Yo, yeah, for real. He'd be respectable. I completely forgot about this guy. But seeing the toy, I had him.
Those
The
are
punching
legit
bag.
boxing gloves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the boxing
He-
glove,
He
the
legit. Yep.
bag. Oh
Yeah.
man, this is
And
so
and he's got that helmet on, but you couldn't see him. And I don't know if you guys remember, there used to be a game, man, I played on my Apple II computer, but it was a game. I think they had it for NES 2 and other platforms. It was called a game called Karateka, and they had these guys, the bad guys, and they looked similar with this mask on that he's wearing. So this would reminds me of this badass bad guy with this mask, and then he's got these boxing gloves, and he's training. He because a lot of times when me and Bobby played with these figures, we played G.I. Joe, but we also played Kumite, like he said in another podcast.
Yeah.
We would have them
Yeah.
fight. So now you got this guy. He was a formidable bad guy in your action figure when you're playing. Like
of course.
this guy,
Automatically.
he's
Automatically because
training,
of the
he's hitting
gloves.
the bag. Yeah, exactly. And you're like, this is the boss. You got to beat this guy.
Yeah.
Just looking at him and talking about him makes me realize, damn, I should have put him on my top 5. He's so legit. He is so legit.
That's how I feel about
And then
Tunnel Rat. I owe it to Tunnel Rat. I should have put him on my top 5.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit.
My second honorable mention was Shipwreck.
Oh yeah, I like Shipwreck. I used to fuck
He
with
came
Shipwreck.
with the parrot. He was pretty cool. So
I love that parrot.
definitely. Oh man, I should have definitely put Big Boa in the top 5. Man, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
But Shipwreck was definitely pretty good.
Yo, that
Yeah.
was another one of my favorites, man.
Yeah,
That toy right
Shipwreck
there,
was
bro.
pretty legit.
Shipwreck.
I fixed him
Ah.
like 30 times, but he survived with me many years. And I
Oh,
held on to that parrot. That parrot was sick.
Yeah.
He is pretty legit.
I lost
Oh
my guns,
man.
probably.
So I gotta be honest. Everyone's honorable mentions were pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I agree.
Jose, we're gonna go to you first. We're gonna
All
go.
right.
Make sure you go from 5 up. Don't give us number
Yep.
1 first.
Nah, I got my 5. I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's see.
Pull me up. Pull me up.
That
Top
guy got
5.
killed in the Kumite.
That is true.
He didn't have
Yeah.
head movement. No head
Oh.
movement.
Oh.
He could fight, but the punching bag wasn't hitting him back. So when they put him in the Kumite, it was a wrap. He got
All right,
exposed.
so number 5. Jose's
Yeah.
number 5. You ready?
Oh,
I'll
wait,
throw it up.
Jose's number 5.
All right. I knew this was going to be on someone's list.
I mean, you
Wait,
got to
this
start
is-
off with him.
Wait,
I mean-
this is Destro. This is new school
Destro.
Destro.
Oh
Yeah,
it's a
Jose,
newer model
like
toy.
just like the video game
It's the
consoles, he
free
comes with the new school stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Jose,
think of toys from you guys.
Jose, what year you in, bro?
I'm trying
We
to.
in
I'm
the
looking for
80s.
both.
We-
dog.
I don't know if you know this, but 2020 sucks. We don't want to be in this
It
year.
does. It does. I stopped at 2019. I'll take you up to 2019. After that, I don't go any further in this tour guide. But Destro, I mean, this villain was at a time, back in that time, the villains were like, I don't know, from outer space, another dimension, some mutation, a possession, you know what I mean? Ancient monster. But this guy was a good old fashioned arms dealer. You know what I mean? It's raw, it's realistic at a time where they didn't just create G.I. Joes. They really took the time out with the bad guys to kind of incorporate real aspects of war. Destro was an arms dealer, flat out. He was a mastermind. He was a bad dude, and you gotta have good bad guys. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have really good bad guys. I didn't idolize the bad guys. I idolized the good guys, the GI Joes, but I respected my bad guys for what they were, which is push the whole GI Joe. So I go into my top 4 now. Oh, plus he got a cool head. I mean, the
Plus,
mask
he got a cool head.
Yeah.
passed on generations.
I
I
give-
think it's the story.
I give thumbs up, Tom. What do you give it?
Thumbs up, 100%.
Nice. I'm
thumbs
doing
up.
better. I'm doing better already. Number 4.
All right, let's hear number 4.
You can't have a list without the man Cobra Commander. He is
Ah, he's killing me with these new pictures, though.
Yeah, new school
Oh, the new-
pictures.
I wasn't gonna bring the
I
old
mean-
school commander.
I mean,
Old
bro,
school commander
bro, old
used to work.
school, the
This is
old
the better
There you
school.
go.
Commander.
Bobby's got the
I love the old school for the nostalgia, but there was no better version of Cobra Commander. When they did this long mask, like look how come on, compared to the old model, that shit is not
the old model.
majestic and mysterious. Well, so anyway, I know y'all don't like the new shit. Cobra Commander was literally the first terrorist. When you really think about it, he was a terrorist. That's all he wanted to do was mess up society and hurt people for the sake of hurting people. I loved his voiceover. The actor did incredible on the
His voice
cartoon.
is great, yeah. I give thumbs up definitely on him.
He was just so
So,
good
yeah,
at being
thumbs up for
evil.
Cobra Commander, of course.
So good at being evil. Here goes
Yeah.
my number 3, Lady J. I mean, let's be honest. She's probably a lot of people's first crush. I know she was mine. I'm surprised Bobby didn't say nothing about my version of it. Because this is the newer version.
Yeah,
It's much more
I
attractive.
laughed. You went with 3, and you went all new pictures of all 3.
Oh no, I
I
got
can't wait
more
to see-
pictures. I was segueing.
I can't wait to see 2 and 1.
This is how I remember Lady J, right? But this is actually what Lady J looked like.
there you go. That's,
That
yeah,
haircut.
that's-
that
all
80s
right,
haircut,
that's better.
man.
That's better.
So I like the newer version because of that 80s haircut. I just can't do it. These 80s haircuts, man.
I'll
This
give
is
him
my
a
number
thumbs up.
2. Sergeant Slaughter.
Number 2, Sergeant Slaughter, of course. Thumbs
I know-
up, yeah.
I know technically he was like an outsider, and then when he turned heel in wrestling, they took him out. But in my honest opinion, in that little bit of time, he became so integrated into the G.I. Joe's lore and universe. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like he epitomizes G.I. Joe's, Even technically, he was just a drill instructor.
I
Excuse
mean,
me, the
the
drill
crazy
instructor.
thing is, when he wrestled, he looked nothing like this.
That guy was the face was on point. The face was on point, but he was a little out of shape. He wasn't as buff.
Oh.
So you guys ready for my number 1?
And we know it's be Snake Eyes.
Yeah, but we're gonna pretend you don't know. Let's do the drum roll.
All
mean,
right, we have
Snake
no idea.
Eyes.
Let's see. What's number 1?
Snake
Wow.
Eyes.
Wow.
Snake Eyes. Bro,
Man.
he dual wields swords and guns. He's a better shooter than the entire team. He's a better swordsman than anybody in the world or history. He's blind, and he's still better than everybody. And think about this: whenever the Joes had the hardest mission on the table that nobody can handle, no one had the balls, no one had the skills. They sent in Snake Eyes. I rest my case. He didn't even need backup. I rest my case. Snake Eyes.
Don't rest your case. You're gonna need a minute later on to tell us.
I'll
Yeah.
repeat it. I'll repeat it.
Yeah,
a little cooler.
you can't rest your case yet. It's not rested. No way.
Yeah,
It's not rested.
No resting.
later on, the case really opens up.
Now I'm nervous.
All
'cause
right.
That's all I had.
Jose, say your top 5 again.
All right, so my top 5 was Destro. Top 4 was Cobra Commander. Top 3 was Lady J, my first girlfriend. Number 2 was Sergeant Slaughter. Number 1 is of course Snake Eyes. It's
Man.
Of course. I can't wait to see Jose's minute. He seems very passionate.
Yeah.
I can't believe did he even make that
This is
list?
gonna be-
He's not in the honorable mentions. He's not in your number 1. I'm afraid he's not even on your top 5, and I'm sorely disappointed.
I mean, all right, Tom, you're up. You're up.
I'm up, huh? All right. Number 5 is actually what we already mentioned him. Actually, Bobby, you brought him up, and my number 5 is Big Boa. He's my number 5. He's
my number 1.
yeah. That's why I already had the picture up and ready to go because I already had him ready
Oh
for
yeah, I
my
was
list.
just saying you were pretty fast on that picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that mean you have shipwreck on your thing too?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
That picture came up fast too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Obviously, I give this a thumbs up. I give
Thumbs
this
up.
a thumbs up.
Obviously, we
Yeah, I
already
give it a
talked about
thumbs up.
him, so that was
We already talked about him.
yep. My number 4. So Jose mentioned him, but what I'm going to do is talk about him a little bit more because we're going to talk about the actual figure himself and why he's my number 4. Because I don't know if Jose gave the character, but I'm going to give you the figure, more details to the figure, and that is Zartan. Number 4, this guy was the figure itself. The character, like Jose said, was awesome, and the concept behind him, but the figure itself when he came out. I mean, this guy had so many details for a figure, and like Jose said, the GI Joes really went above and beyond with the action figures. He came with a case that you opened up this case, and there's another mask that you put on his face to cover him up. I mean, that is so cool. How many toys have that where you can just interchange it and it comes in a case? He's suntanned. You put him in it. You put him in the sun. He changed colors. I mean,
This one or a different
so he
model?
has
I
so
don't remember
many-
him. This particular first line when Nat used to do what you said about the sun. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
had this shit. I don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that too.
You know what else
Yeah,
I don't remember
Pretty
though?
legit.
I thought he was awesome, right? Because everything just had the pack. And what I really enjoyed, I like the mask, like you said, the mask, not the other mask, but the black mask, so you don't see his real identity, the hood.
Right.
But what is it with the 80s and the men with the belly shirts?
Yeah.
I looked at my
That's
dad's.
a little suspect, right?
Yeah, my
I don't
dad's
know.
photos from the
Oh.
80s.
But
my dad had belly shirts in like so many photos. Like it was an 80s
Oh
thing. I don't know.
But
I
the
just
thing
wanted
is,
to add that.
this
Wow, look at that. That's
this
sick.
is
I forgot about
this
that one.
was legit because he came with this case right here, this container and this vehicle,
I got
and
that.
this vehicle would break down and go into this case,
Sure.
and then this would go on his back, and he'd walk around and he carried his case around with him. So he literally carried his own transport with him. So this guy just had so many cool features, tied to him. I think this
He was
this
a lone
figure
wolf
itself.
too. When you think
Yeah.
about it, that was a cool
G-
feature about him.
G.I.
Yeah,
Joe
his color
is
changes
like-
in the sun.
There's nothing like G.I. Joe now. Like, there's nothing like
There's
this.
nothing. That's what I mean. Like these
No.
figures themselves, like there's so much just in this one figure, so many little details and
You-
things that they added to him.
That's another thing, we're not going to mention so many mentionable characters. Like G.I. Joe took the time out to give their characters each such, so many features, not just backstory, but they gave them personality with habits
Yeah.
or tendencies. Other creators didn't think in that aspect at the time. And I love G.I. Joe for that.
Yep.
Yeah, G.I. Joe's pretty legit.
100%. My number 3, Jose already mentioned him, but I'm gonna bring him up. Here he is, Destro. I don't know if you guys could see me make it.
Classic. That was
Yeah,
another
Destro
big-
was the man. I mean, when this guy came out, and it was just so cool. He had this silver face, and his badass black outfit, and he's got like these grenades on his wrist, and everything else. It's
and the
definitely
V-neck, another 80s style. I
yeah,
got the
yeah.
V-neck.
Yeah, pretty legit.
I remember the
And-
V-neck.
Tom, you'll get me nervous, Tom, right now that we're gonna have the same
Oh.
number 1.
We
Get me
might.
nervous.
You see that?
Get
Um,
me nervous.
Now
That
the thing
used
is
to be
too.
me
So
repairing.
you can see, I couldn't find a good picture. I was trying to go through, but another thing too with the details, like Jose was saying, this guy's a weapons man over here, and and this guy used to weapons dealer. He came with a suitcase with a gun. His gun came in a suitcase, and he
Yeah.
walked through. Like the figure itself can just hold the suitcase in his hand. You open up the suitcase, and he's got his gun. Like again, the attention to detail with GI Joes and what they did is so cool.
Yeah, and the
Nope.
accessories are just crazy.
Right.
Notice the legs and the groin area. Like you guys, your GI Joes never broke. You guys never had to repair
They
it.
broke.
Like
Oh,
feel
I
like
had
that
them
was a
break all the
common
time. I
thing.
just
Yeah.
didn't know when I was a kid. I didn't know how to repair
Yeah.
them.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sad. I feel so.
Very
My
sad.
heart hurts for you, bro.
Yeah.
It was so easy. You
Wow,
get
Jose,
the rubber
Jose
band.
just told us both sad.
Bro. Because
There's been many times that I had these.
imagine if you
Yeah.
had a Joe throw out your GI Joe when it broke. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
Like,
don't think we actually threw
I
them
don't
out. We
know.
just kept them.
It's so
Oh, so
funny.
you
We
had-
kept them in like used
so
half
he,
the body,
he's
or
missing
I
his
don't know what
leg
we
and
did.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
missing
Yeah,
leg. He's still good. He's
his,
hopping on one
his
foot.
leg got blown up.
It's merely
Yeah, I
a
feel
flesh,
you.
a flesh wound. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I
Still
just
got
added
two
it to the
arms.
story. Just added it to the
Yeah, and
lore.
it's a storyline.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel you. Damn. Yeah, I just had to repair it, man. Just a little rubber band.
Oh,
That's funny. All right, my number 2. Going to my number 2 is, we spoke about him already, Mr. Shipwreck. I had a hard time because I had
Wow.
another figure that I was going to put in my number 2, and then it's funny how he doesn't even end up in my top 5 because you only could have 5. So I was going to have another figure in this place, and I compared the 2 figures, and I was like, you know what? Shipwreck as a figure was definitely better than the other figure, but it was a close one. But this guy, again, the attention to details and everything. This guy comes with a parrot. He comes with this, with this anchor or whatever it is, a hook on the rope, and the pistol. I don't know if you guys can see that pistol.
What
But-
sold me was the parrot, man, and he was cool in the cartoon.
Yeah, and he was cool. Yeah,
That parrot, like I didn't notice. Y'all didn't seem to care about the parrot. I thought that
no,
was
the parrot
coolest
was
thing
no,
in
I
the
care
world.
about the parrot. Parrot's
Yeah, I
definitely
loved
pretty
it.
cool.
I
Yeah.
the
love
parrot
the
was
parrot.
like the coolest
Yeah.
thing. And not
Yeah.
only that though, the figure himself. I don't know if you can actually see. It's hard to see in this picture, but I don't know if. But in this picture,
Oh,
he was one of the first like
yeah,
action
the
figures. I don't
whole-
know how many action figures had tattoos on them, but this guy had
Oh,
a
Yeah.
badass tattoo on his
Yeah.
forearm. There was a couple other
Yeah.
Joe, actually other
I
Joe
mean that
was-
made sense. The sailors
that
they
almost
got the
made this
typical
list. But yeah,
tattoos.
but he's got the anchor tattoo on. I mean,
I thought you
how many
referred
action
to-
figures back then had tattoos on them, and it was
Yeah.
definitely cool the detail that they put to these guys.
Don't
Shipwreck
zoom
is
out yet.
definitely legit.
Can you pull it back up again?
Yeah.
I noticed some too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he also? I don't recall many of them having this feature. But do you see how his belt has like a little hook? Where he
Yeah,
can
has a
put
little
something on
hook.
it?
Yeah.
Yep. That you can hook
Were they
everything.
all like that? I don't
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah,
I think other GI Joes had that.
cool.
Yeah.
Tom, before you get to your number 1, guys, how many GI Joes do you think were made?
It got to be hundreds. They had a couple generations. I myself probably own like a easy 100 of
Well,
them.
from what, 1980?
I can't recall, but
Well,
my favorite was the
That's it.
original Rubber Band line because I could repair those.
Okay.
When they made other
Okay.
lines, I wasn't a huge fan of them, to be honest with you.
well,
So I
my
repair the whole
point,
line.
my point to be GI Joe. Let's say this was what we say the year of frame was this time.
It's like 84.
1985,
It's 80, I was born, man.
You're 82 to
90 or 92.
yeah, something like that.
I just want to let you guys know, 82 to 92, and I guarantee you, Tom is going to pick my number 1. I just know it. I
You
just
think
know
so?
it.
You know,
Out of all the figures, I guarantee this guy picks my number 1, which would be crazy. How many hundreds of figures they made?
can
That's
I don't know.
My
I
God.
don't know because there's another. This
So,
list was very
Tom,
tough.
you could probably Google it. Tom, Google real quick how many different GI Joe characters there are, please, if you could. And then, can you pull up on the side because I want to freak Bobby out? Can you pull up GI Joe Sigma 6 series on the side of that? They made a few. There was one line besides the original line of GI Joes that I cherished, and that was way in the future, bro. I might have been a little too old to
When
be
they
getting
did the
toys.
what?
The
The
big
blue,
ones.
green,
Remember the
and
big
brown?
Sigma ones? Nah, they like futurized some of the most
These?
most popular. No, those are awesome. That's another
No.
classic though. When they made like
Okay.
the doll version. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's not a doll.
Action,
Did you,
action
yeah,
figure,
action
action
figure.
doll.
Did you
It's
see
an
the
action
toys
doll.
that?
I mean,
Yeah,
action figure.
the toys that made us. We don't call it a doll.
Not a doll. Not,
Not
a,
a
doll.
doll.
Don't call it a doll.
I
Oh.
think there was 163 figures, if this is correct. What I'm finding on.
Well, as separate characters, because figures wise, they probably made so many models. But
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Well, the thing is
So
too. I
let's say-
also the figures that I picked, like for my list anyway. I was picking
Yeah.
specific figures. So if there was 3 versions of a certain figure or 2 versions, I was
Yeah.
picking the one version that I liked over another one.
All right. So let's say there's 200. Tom, let's hear your number one, and I think it's my number one, but I'm not gonna say none. I'm gonna let you talk about it.
It's not Snake Eyes because you guys are just.
It's definitely not
lame.
Snake Eyes.
It's not Snake Eyes, unfortunately.
Uh,
But it is. There he is, Storm Shadow,
Oh,
number
Okay,
one.
I'll
It is
accept
not
that.
my number one.
I'll accept that. He almost made my honorable mention. I'll accept it
Man.
because Snake Eyes wasn't on your list. And if you don't have a ninja, are you a real MMA guy? But
I could have
But-
made this list with all just fighters, ninjas on
Oh,
this
yeah.
list because
no,
it
but
was.
let's be honest. Shadow Storm will always be number 2 when it comes to the ninja world.
See,
He's-
we're
he's
getting,
number
this is
2.
going to make an interesting battle
This
for
is gonna
who's
be good.
votes for number
Yeah,
one.
this is gonna be good. Oh, now I'm excited.
Because now you have
Now
the
I'm
2
excited. I
ninjas,
give you
Storm
thumbs up.
Shadow. We don't know what Bobby's is, but so far we got Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
We all know who won the first fight.
Wow.
But
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh,
Uh,
but I
caught
know who
that.
won the second fight. I think they
I
fought
caught
again.
that shade. I caught that shade, Tom.
oh,
All right, that was just called good
Oh,
writing.
man.
That was to build up
Yeah.
anticipation.
That was yeah,
And
exactly.
he did it because he felt bad. He wanted to let him have a W. He couldn't just, beat him 2 times in a row.
But
I-
look at
I
Storm
am very excited about today. Later on for the minute things they'd be very intense. I feel.
Oh,
I got
man.
nothing. Don't get excited.
Oh.
I got nothing. I busted my load. All right, whatever I had, it's gone.
But I mean,
Oh.
Storm Shadow came with all these accessories, and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
just fit in his backpack, and he could just carry everything around and just.
I fucking love that backpack with the 2
That's
swords.
it.
It was
Yeah.
so cool how you could take the swords in and out. I appreciated that so much. Badass character,
And-
one of my favorites.
I mean, 2 swords, nunchucks, bow, arrows. He's got ninja stars in his
Yeah.
belt. I mean,
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
badass.
legit.
He's legit.
Yeah,
yeah.
it is
So
legit.
Storm
Tom,
Shadow.
why don't you run down your top 5?
All right. So my top 5 was Big Boa. Number 4, Zartan. Number 3, Destro. Number 2, Shipwreck. And number 1, Storm Shadow.
Wow, very, very good. I'm gonna run through my list. A couple of them already said, so it'll be a little bit easier to go through. My number 5 was Gung Ho, the second version. When he's in the Marine outfit.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Second version. They both were good.
Second version.
But I
They
gave
both were
classic
really good.
you know?
I had a hard time picking which one,
is
but I
hard.
remember specifically playing with the Gung Ho, the second version. more.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Um,
was. Yeah.
He
I
was
mean, you gotta
definitely
mention, he
legit.
was the first person I could think of with a giant gun. He started all that trend you see in all these other things. You know what I mean? Like other
Yeah.
games, other series are known for like the guy with the big Gatling gun. I mean, it probably sparked
Yeah.
Terminator. Terminator had the big ass gat. You know what I mean? Like that comes from gun.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Gung Ho was definitely legit. My number 4 was talked about by everyone, which is Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's already talked about.
Yep.
My number 3 was talked about by Tom, which is the fridge. Yeah,
The
refrigerator,
fridge.
which is-
All
yeah.
right. Nice.
So why'd you put him there? Because of the football thing, or did you like him as the GI Joe character?
Really, why I put him there because I remember as a kid mailing in to get him and waiting 8 weeks to get this action figure and how cool it was that we got it.
Yeah,
That's
it worked.
really why I put him there.
'Cause that's
Yeah.
why they did that. They did that purposely
Yeah.
to make him feel more special. So it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
It
That's
100%
why
worked.
I put him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he fit
My
the
number-
universe well. You know, I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh, my number 2, I think, is pretty good. No one talked about was Law and Order.
I don't remember that.
Law and Order.
wait,
Again,
it's
another
number
good one.
Yeah.
Can you pull up what he looked like? But the
Yep.
name is ringing a bell.
Because he's another
Yeah,
one
I
with
wanna
the
remember-
amount of details and accessories with the figure.
Came with a dog. He was pretty legit.
Damn, I don't remember this. Ooh, the name sounds familiar, but it's not jogging stuff yet. Maybe I
Yeah,
missed
give me
out
a
on it.
Wait till I hit you guys. Wait till I hit you guys with my number 1. Oh my God, it'd be crazy.
I mean, if he comes with a dog, how can?
He comes with a
It's
dog.
very attractive. It's very appealing.
Look at this.
Oh,
I mean,
I had this guy. I forgot about Law and Order.
Yeah.
I remember that stupid helmet. I used to hate the helmet.
Oh,
It was just so
man,
bulky.
I'm about to go on eBay right now.
It looks like an empty helmet.
$29.98.
Best offer. He
Yo,
looks
I re-
complete. He's
Y'all
complete.
remember the leash? I used to love putting the leash on the dog. I remember that shit now.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
that
is-
was
he
tough.
is-
Wow, I had him. I forgot about him.
Pretty legit.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
All right,
Pinterest.
guys, I'm gonna go with my number 1.
Good shit.
I
Good
am
shit,
not.
guys.
I am not going to talk too much about my number 1 because I'm going to save that for the minute. But my number 1, Tom's gonna have to pull this up, is Road Pig.
He almost made my list. He was on my top 10.
Road who? You said road.
Road Pig.
I didn't hear you say roadblock. Road who?
Road Pig.
It's not ringing.
I
a
actually
bell.
thought his name was
Road Pig,
Roadblock.
not
I had to
ringing
look
a
it up,
bell.
and it was Road Pig.
That's another
And,
guy. Yeah, roadblock was the guy's
he-
like.
Well, because
He
there was a
was-
who's Road
roadblock
Pig?
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's road pig? That I got nothing.
Tom's gonna pull it up, and you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, damn, this is
I'm
crazy."
anticipating. Yeah, I'm excited. Like who the
Hold
hell
on,
is
because I'm
Road
trying to
Pig?
find a. Let me see here if I can get a good picture of this guy. I'm getting all
Make
new
sure-
new school stuff here. Hold on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Get him
Bobby
with
don't
his
like that
weapon.
shit.
Get him with his weapon too, because it's very
Well,
important. that you
that's
see
the
his
thing.
weapon.
His weapon, man. This guy.
Yeah.
Why can't we find a good picture of this guy?
Oh, as Tom's looking for the picture, his weapon was a stick with a cinder block on it. A stick with a cinder block. A cinder block.
Repeat
No,
that
no,
again, Bobby, because this was the same
a
thing.
stick-
This was what I was gonna say when I.
Simple but
a
effective.
stick. A stick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's effective. It's a stick with a cinder block.
This guy look
This
like
guy
Oh
was-
man.
he looked like-
Oh,
I
He's
remember
more
this
More
asshole. I
muscular
had
than
this
all the other Joes.
Road Pig, I hated Road Pig. I don't know why. You know why? Because I hate that stupid shit. Pull up the toy. You see that stupid? He looked like he wearing some chaps on his pants. You know what I'm talking about? His groin area. What's
Yeah,
that
I know
about?
what
Oh, he
you're
got
talking about.
rhinestones.
Road Pig.
I'm gonna start roasting the
Look-
character.
Yeah,
out.
stick.
Look at
stick
the
with a cinder block on it.
Oh man.
He was cool
Oh
because
man.
He was
So-
another good guy, a good bad guy to have in your Kumite tournament.
So is
Yeah,
it a coincidence that he had the football shoulder pads, or was he like a football guy too? I don't remember his.
I don't even know
character.
his. I don't even know
remember
his
the
history.
toy.
Yeah.
You know what this toy
Right.
was for me, Bobby? I want you to know this because he's your number one. So especially, this was the guy all my characters would fuck up when I needed like a little like guy to fall before the boss. That was the guy. I picked.
Don't-
I just want you to know that.
Don't worry, Jose. In like 2 minutes, we'll get figure this all out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll shoot my 5 list right now. Number 5, Gung Ho, the second one. Number 4, Sergeant Slaughter. Number 3, The Fridge. Number 2, Law and Order. And number 1, Road Pig. All right.
Man.
Now to the best part of the show. We got 1 minute to disguise who is going to be number 1. It's Snake Eyes, Road Pig, and oh my God, why did I forget who Tom was?
Storm Shadow.
Storm Shadow. Why did I forget? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Storm
Arch
Shadow,
nemesis,
Snake
yeah.
Eyes, and Road Pig. Guess off first, Jose. Oh, Tom has a special timer today.
Okay, so yeah, we got a special timer. We're not messing around today. So let me bring up the timer. All right, we got the timer. We're ready to go.
You ready, Jose?
Oh yeah, as ready as I could possibly be because I'm not prepared at all. But let's do
Wait,
it.
before Jose goes, guys, make sure after everyone goes, you are going to pick which GI Joe action figure should be number one
So
after
this is it.
the three
This
of
is
us
the big.
discuss what it should be.
All right.
All right, Jose, go for it.
I mean, GI Joe is the ultimate. I'm sorry, not GI Joe. Snake Eyes is the ultimate GI Joe. He's not just a GI Joe. He's quite frankly a fucking superhero. This guy don't even need the GI Joes. I don't even know why I'm in a 60-second arguing about this shit because he's literally in GI Joes and doesn't need the GI Joes. This guy can take down Destro, Commander, Cobra, the Baroness, whoever you got, you bring them all. And Snake Eyes is gonna. All you hear is gonna ching 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 ching, and everybody falls in half. Limbs are falling on the floor. While he's doing that, he's shooting people in between the eyes that he's not even looking at. He's blind like Daredevil. I mean, come on, he could fuck up the Avengers. I'm pretty certain. Do I gotta keep going on? Snake Eyes is the fucking man, bro. He's my hero. He's my hero. That's it. 5 seconds left. I'm not even gonna use it. Snake Eyes.
You're gonna use it.
All day.
Oh,
Snake Eyes.
Man. Okay.
nice. Good job, Jose. Good job.
You got a champ.
All right,
Man.
all right, Tom, you are up.
I'm gonna have to try to bring the passion because Bobbio is always bringing the passion, so I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
gonna be able to.
It's hard to fight the passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, you ready? All right, so we got
ready.
Storm Shadow. He's the arch nemesis to Snake Eyes, the bad guy. Who doesn't like the bad guy versions of anybody? Here he is. Here's the bad guy ninja. Boom. Here he is. He's got the Cobra patch on his gi, on his uniform. He comes with a bow and arrow. He, like what was they said? Snake Eyes. You know what? Storm Shadow's got a bow and arrow. He's got a katana. He's got a tanto. He's got ninja stars tucked into his bag. Everything goes right into his backpack. The figure itself was awesome. Everything stored right in there. And who won the first fight between Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes? So that's all I got to say. And I'm not
Cheap
even going
shot.
to use the rest of my time either. So all I'm
dirty.
going to say is Cobra.
Shady. Cheap shot.
Oh,
You know when you let your little brother win? That's what that was. All right. I'm sure you let
Listen,
Bobby win a couple.
I got to bring you passion
Oh.
somehow. I don't know.
oh man. Oh.
That was pretty good.
The only problem is no one likes road pigs, so I'm gonna have a hard time explaining this one.
It is a hard one. It is a hard one.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got? We got someone. Road Pig was my ex.
Yeah, he was some like nobody. I don't know. Something like that, Maurice. I don't know.
All right,
we
let
all
me know when you're ready.
Snake Eyes is the winner. But go on.
We know what that is. All right,
All
Bobby's
right,
ready.
you guys ready?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Go.
All right, so you guys should pick Road Pig because Road Pig, let's be honest, if you guys watch Bloodsport, you know what Road Pig is? He's Chung Li. He is freaking Chung Li. And if you guys like Double Dragon, he's the muscle guys. You know how the muscle twins come out? He's the guy from Double Dragon. He is so badass. Let's be honest. The guy has a stick with a cinder block. If you guys ever watched the movie Walking Tall, when The Rock gets the 4x4, goes in the casino and beats the crap out of everyone, that's like Road Pig. He grabs a freaking stick with a cinder block and beats the crap out of everyone. That's why you guys should pick Road Pig. Because not only is he a G.I. Joe, he is also Chung Li, and he's also the bad guy from Double Dragon. That's why you guys should pick Road Pig, because he's jacked up Diesel, and he has shoulder pads and a stick with a cinder block. Road Pig should be number one.
Wow.
Now that that rant is over, I just want to say what I got from that, Bobby, to be quite honest, is that Road Pig can build you a deck. He's like the average construction worker. He brings his mallet and he just starts building you a nice deck. I don't really find that impressive. if you want my honest opinion.
Oh,
Do a deck.
man.
I mean, I got nothing else to say.
Man. All right, so
right.
we're gonna have to have everybody vote now.
I want to
Yeah.
know, what they think.
All right, so,
You know what's funny? Before you do the vote, you want to pull up just to piss Bobby off the Sigma 6 characters. Maurice, I actually have it on my screen if you want to show it. I looked it up real quick on the sneak tip. Maurice said Sigma 6 was so because a fan said it. Does that mean we have to pull it up just so I could upset Bob? I want
Yeah,
to
you
get
can pull
his
it.
take. I know Bobby's gonna say they
I
look
know.
like shit, but I want to know what
I
he
know.
thinks.
Wait, we pulling it up?
I'm sorry. I was. Oh, you know what?
What?
My bad. I was waiting to hear what you got to say, Bobby. I'll pull it up right now.
Oh,
I have it. I
wait,
just
we
got to
didn't
open
pull
my
it up.
screen.
Then I was gonna say something.
All right, so yeah, I have it ready to go. You just gotta pull it up in the stream. So yo, man, talk about features. Like, I mean, you can't see it close up, but this shit had features, assortments. You mentioned carrying case. Sigma 6 came with this big ass, like 6-8 inch case with all the weapons in it. I mean, you talk about bow and arrows. Look at my man right here with this bow and arrow. Like, this shit was cool, but I already know what you're gonna say, Bobby. You hate it.
Oh,
Just-
I
over
hate
with.
it.
I'll
What
tell
the
you
hell
one
is
more.
that crap? What is this crap?
It's new
It's
school.
called-
Yeah. This is
It's called extra features, Bobby.
Extra
Bobby don't like
features.
extra features.
No.
He's like, I don't want
no.
more perks. I don't want more
Tom,
perks.
Tom,
But I just
come
want to show
on,
the Sigma
Tom.
6. I was a fan of those
Tom.
shits. Yo, look at Cobra over here. Where's the
Tom.
Cobra? Let's show one last one. Look at Cobra in the corner. Top right.
He
My
looks
man
like
put spikes on
Spider-Man.
his shield.
He
Yeah,
looks
he do,
like
he do.
Spider-Man or something.
he do. He do.
Tom.
Go ahead. Let me have it.
Go
Let
ahead,
me have
Tom.
it.
Tom, go ahead, Tom.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
You definitely can't repair it. When them shits broke, and they were like $30. Like one of them shits, man.
Yeah.
What
For
year
each
did they
one.
come
I
out?
got-
2000 what?
I don't know, but they up there. They got to be late 90s.
Yeah.
I would even imagine, like you said, maybe even 2000s, like
yeah.
some reboot or
I
something
mean,
that they had.
Yeah, they look
2002,
like
I'm
some
thinking,
2000 trash. Yeah, that's just trash.
Yeah. It was cool. It won't replace G.I. Joe's, but it was a nice spinoff.
See, I agree with
Maurice
Maurice, but not
says it.
today.
Not today.
I don't agree with him today.
Maurice
Not
is on
today.
Jose's side
Not
today.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely on Jose's side.
So we got the
man.
big vote coming up right now. This is
Oh
it.
yeah.
All right,
Hulk
let's
Bear.
do the vote.
Hulk Bear got something to say. Hulk Bear says, "Sorry guys, I don't know if you want to pull him up."
Yeah. Oh, there's no
There
magic.
we go. There we go.
Nah, man,
All
get
right,
that
we got-
comment out here. Take that shit.
I mean, Hulk Bear.
Bury it.
Point,
Bury
though.
it.
The
We
dude
didn't see it, Bobby. I didn't see nothing. Y'all see?
Oh,
You saw
walking
something
around with a cinder block on a stick and hitting people over the head with it. I mean, come on.
man.
I got one vote. So far, we got
All right.
no other votes. So
All right,
it looks
so-
like I'm winning.
So what do we vote? So
Yeah,
we're
technically.
voting on either Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, or Road Pick. So
Oh,
we gotta
wait,
put everybody's votes in.
Maurice got somebody. Maurice votes Storm Shadow. So we
Okay,
got to
let's
vote
do
for
it.
Tom.
What he's got?
man.
So,
All right, we
so
got
now
Storm
one more.
Shadow wins,
Now y'all tied.
Jose has
according to Maurice. So we got to
Yeah,
vote
so-
for one vote for Storm Shadow, one vote for Road Pig. We don't have any votes for Snake Eyes yet.
I didn't see
if
that
we-
one coming, guys.
If we get one more vote for either Storm Shadow or Road Pig, that person wins.
Hold on, am I allowed to
Yeah.
text people and beg
Yeah,
for
he's
votes?
quick. Make a comment. Drop a
Oh.
comment.
Oh. And then
Yeah, man.
if we don't get any votes in the next minute,
Oh, start the timer.
Then what?
Guys,
Yeah.
give me a
uh,
60-second timer to beg, because I'll just start begging for 60 seconds. I'm not competitive.
Yeah, because right
if
now
you
Jose's not
don't-
even looking. He doesn't even have
But
a
you know what's
vote on the
interesting?
board.
So what happens now? What breaks the code? Do you guys like fight each other? Like, does y'all
Yeah,
tied up?
what is the tiebreaker?
I don't know. We never had this situation before.
We covering new ground,
Oh.
guys.
Oh,
So unless
actually, no,
someone
I got-
throws the
I got
vote
the-
in,
You know what, Tom? Can you put 60 seconds on the clock? Because then what we could do is we
wanna
could have
60 seconds.
in a minute, if no one votes, we'll have Hulk and Maurice give us one reason why they think, and we'll vote what their reason was.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, you know what?
I like
Why don't we give a minute? Let's have Hulk and Maurice give us
All
a
right.
reason why they
That's it.
should
So
be number
Hulk
one.
Bear and Maurice, we're waiting for you guys. You guys better make your comments and make your
One
reasons
comment
why. All right,
And
one
then the
comment
three of us
each.
pick. Then the three of us pick what they think. You know what I mean? What we think off
All right, so it's
Yeah.
up to Hulk Bear and Maurice right now to
And feel
let's
free,
hear your
Hulk Bear
comments.
and
It better be a
Maurice.
good comment.
feel free to change
Yeah.
the thing, guys. Also,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
they could if they
man.
wanted to.
Oh man,
Oh
I'm relying
man.
on my man Maurice right now to come in strong with a good reason why Storm Shadow should win.
I want to see y'all
I
hands in the air. I don't want to see nobody cheating. Let me see this man.
Hulk-
Who's cheating?
Hulk
Bob
Bear,
Jackson,
let's go, Hulk
took long to
Bear.
put his
Hulk
hands up.
Bear.
Oh, he put one hand up. He cheating. He one
I got
hand.
Yeah.
both. I got both.
Well, hold on, I'm trying to get Maurice's Facebook login right now. I'm gonna see if I can log in, comment
You
that.
gotta have a backup to the backup. You got a coin to flip.
Well, Tom, actually, you got to put 60 seconds on the clock. They have to comment within 60 seconds.
Okay, so we're
That-
gonna put 60 seconds on this clock right now.
They
And if
might
they
have
don't-
right. There's like a weird delay that happens. I noticed. With
There
the
is a
comments.
delay.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's hope that they sort it.
Yeah, right. Imagine they
hope
just
they sort
shut
it.
it off. They're like, all
Yeah.
right, I can't watch anymore, and they just shut it off. And we're
Right.
here like,
Oh my
guys, say something. Say something.
And then they left us
Oh my
hanging.
God.
Yeah.
Either that or they're
That would
typing
be
up
so-
really.
We
Oh,
got
wait,
some.
wait. We got
Oh,
one. All right,
Maurice.
so Maurice has got his on there. Let's see what he's got. Storm Shadow is the ultimate killer. The toy can with so many things, so many weapons, and if you came with so many things, so many weapons, and if you think Snake Eyes was the man, then imagine how awesome his senpai was. Wow.
Oh, that was low blow.
Woo.
So are
Hey,
you
the whole
calling?
pro too.
Wait, what does Hulk Bear say?
Oh,
I'm just gonna say that poison needles or shurikens are not gonna get through a cinder block. A cinder block alone is crazy, but this is just on a stick like a cinder. So it's a cinder block that moves.
all right. So my vote
All
is
right.
gonna go with
Jose.
Maurice.
Wait, time out. Jose. You gave it away. Never mind. Now
I'm sorry.
me and Tom, we
I'll tell
got
you why
vote.
though,
Who you think?
because
Wait, what?
wait. Hulk Bear proposes a good point, right? He says the Shirokins are not gonna go through the cinder block. But the way I imagine these ninjas, you guys ever see Wanted with Angelina Jolie when they curving bullets from the gun?
Right.
The Shirokin's gonna go around the cinder block right into his temple. So
Yeah.
Road Pig is dead. I'm going with
Right.
Maurice and Storm Shadow.
The thing is, how fast can he wield that cinder block to move to try to
Another
block?
good point.
block these
Cinder
shurikens?
blocks are heavy. I don't know if you guys lift the cinder blocks, but I did. That shit's heavy.
But you also
Did
got to
you-
be strong
did
to be
you-
carrying
did you
a
not
cinder
see the
block on a
size?
stick.
Good point. He was
Did you
definitely
not
on
see the
steroids.
size of the rope pick? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was juiced to the tits. He was definitely on steroids. That guy.
Right. So
Yeah. And he used to wear this funky little thing on his. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, rhinestones. What was that about? Damn. So what you got, Tom? You got to vote. Tom's
I have to vote?
undecided. Yeah, you got to vote on Maurice or Hulkbear. Who convinced you? I thought that's what we were doing. Unless I didn't get the new.
I think
memo.
it's gonna have to be up to
Well-
Jose because because I'm gonna
Yeah, that's
I
what
like
was
Maurice's
saying.
comment.
Jose jumped the gun already before I said we'll leave it up to Jose, and he gave Maurice. So we'll give it to
sorry.
Jose because you have to give the final call. It'll be Jose giving the final call.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Jose, you say
Hulkbear.
Maurice.
Hulkbear, you made a good argument, but you also gave me good ammo, you know, and a good realization. So I'm going Maurice on this one.
Man.
But I like you, Hulkbear. I like you, guy. I like you.
So guys,
Man,
we got number 1 is Storm Shadow. Number 2 is Road Pig. Ha ha ha. Number 3 is Snake Eyes.
you know
Those
what
are the
though? I
top
think that's a
three
solid
G.I.
solid
Joes.
top 3 right there.
Yeah.
Those are definitely a top 3. Jose, we really appreciate you being on the show today. Guys, always make sure you guys like, share, comment, whatever you guys do. We appreciate everything. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Even though I haven't did a YouTube video in a while, I gotta get back on that. Guys, the next 2 weeks, we have the next 2 weeks planned out. We're kind of gonna roll. We're gonna roll with this action figure kind of line. So we're gonna go Ninja Turtles, and we're gonna have Matthew, our MC, on there talking about the top 5 Ninja Turtles, and the week after that, we're gonna talk about the top 5 He-Man. So
Oh,
we got
shit,
Ninja
okay.
Turtles, and then the top 5 He-Man. And
You
then
know
the
what?
Third, we're gonna have Mike Banana on that show, right?
Yeah, we are.
It's funny.
Maurice is looking for a Transformers. We might have to bring that up too.
Might have to do
Yeah.
Transformers.
And drop Hulkbear because we bonded. I like you, bro.
Jose.
I see you. I see you. Namaste.
I like Hulkbear because he was on my side.
He was.
Thanks, Maurice.
Thanks,
Any
Maurice.
shout outs you guys? Any shout outs you guys want to say before we go?
I just want to give a shout out to Matt, right? Your next host, because I know Matt. Matt's a ring announcer, and I've had conversations with Matt, like in person. and Matt can't turn that voice off. So it's gonna be an interesting episode
That'd be
because
interesting.
he's always talking like an announcer. He'd be like,
Every-
"My top 5 Transformers."
Yeah.
Bumblebee. That's just gonna come out natural, but he's a
I
great
think
guy. I
every
like him.
conversation I have with him is about his Darth Vader socks. So
Oh, nice. I
Yeah.
haven't had that conversation. I gotta try that one.
So next week, guys, Ninja Turtles, and the week after that was gonna be He-Man, and then we're either gonna go Wrestlers, Transformers, or Thundercats after that, and then we'll get back into video games
Ooh.
after those. So
If you
Man.
guys,
yeah,
if you guys
That's
need
gonna be some
somebody
big
for
ones.
Thundercats, I volunteer right now. On air.
we'll
Man.
we'll let Hope
I've been wanting to
we'll
do
let
that for
Jose
years,
come
guys.
back to Thundercats.
Yes,
Jose will be here for
Thundercats.
Thundercats. Yeah.
Thundercats.
All right.
These are some good
So-
good lineup coming up.
The next two lineups are set, which is going to be Ninja Turtles and then He-Man. Those are set. So
There you go.
after that, might be a little bumpy. What we're going to do is Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, and Transformers. We're going to mix them up. We're not sure which order we're going to go. But next
All right.
week, guys, we'll see you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Top Ninja Turtles. Make sure you guys start working on that list. See you guys next week.
Hulk Bear's my friend, so I'm sticking up for him. But Hulk Bear has one more suggestion. Guys might want to see it. Click the link because I think the same thing. You guys got to follow up
After,
the Nintendo with a S.
yeah,
You know,
after we go with the action figures, we are going Super Nintendo.
nice,
And then we're going to go back to Nintendo on genres on Nintendo.
nice. You got to volunteer, Maurice.
All right,
Keep it
Maurice is Transformers. All right.
All right. He's
And then
got it. He's on.
We'll get,
All right, no more
we'll get a
comments.
big wrestling. There we go. Guys, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace out.